company called Deluxe Vacuum Form that went out of business, but before it went out of business, Lunar Models bought the molds from them, and they made these vacuum form Proteuses. Here's another view of the front of the Proteus. You can make out the figures seated in there, and of course the one in the dome. I went ahead and used a Millennium Falcon set of seats for the front there, and one figure is standing up with his arms outstretched. You can probably barely make out some of his arms. Another one is seated right there with his hand pointing forward like he's pointing to something. Of course the pilot here is just seated like he has his hand on control there. The figures do not come with a model kit. I just put them in myself, and they're from a Monogram 1/72 scale kit. I picked up some figures there that were seated and just put them in here. The hatch wheel there is from a little train set, and I just used a red decal to fake to be a pseudo snorkel. That was all I did there. The fins are pretty well detailed. Here's the profile of the Proteus. It's a little fat and stubby for a vacuum form model, and not as sleek as the 1/32 scale Lunar Models one, but still a very, very nice rendition of the Proteus. It's approximately 1/72 scale, and like I said, it's a vacuum form model kit. Now Lunar Models produces this model, but it is of a resin base. There's only a couple of major pieces to it: the fins, the main body, and the clear pieces. Now let me show you the 16-inch Martian war machine. Well, let me show you the alien first. Now this is the alien from the TV series War of the Worlds. It's not the one from the movie. As you can see, there's extra legs on there, and the top part of the body looks a lot different. And here's the electronic eye. Those also are fluorescent colors. You can see there's a little bit of translucency right there. And some right here. Okay, here's the Martian war machine lit up now. And you can tell it's lit. I have those lenses lit up also. There we are. It's flashing now. Here is another Earth vs. the Flying Saucers model kit. This one is manufactured by Monsters in Motion, and it is really, really beautiful and modeler friendly. All I had to do was do a little bit of filling in, a little bit of gluing, and basically that was it. What I did with the base and the flying saucer and the alien was I broke up the smooth surface, and I with a little bit of sandpaper and some steel wool, and washed it really, really well so that the paint would adhere. This is the model without the flying saucer attached to it. As you can see, I went ahead and put a steel rod at the center of the landing pad right there so that it can take the flying saucer and it won't fall off. But I made it so the flying saucer can be removable because there is a death ray that goes to the bottom of it. The alien is has a rod sticking out of his back going straight into the that little pad there. That way he won't be moved around too much. Here's a super duper close-up of the alien. I use the same painting techniques as I did with the Action Hobbies alien. I just spray painted it black and dry brushed it with some of that Tamiya acrylic gunmetal, and it had a really nice effect. Probably the only part that I had to do any sanding or filling in was that top dome where it comes in contact with the rest of the saucer. There was a major gap there, but I was able to fill it in. Although you can see some imperfections on this side, I want to show you the bad side of the flying saucer. The other side is the good clean one where the gap was not so big. But I wanted to show this to you so that you can see, well, it's not a bad gap at all. The overall saucer was spray painted from the can, Tester Silver. And I used some Tamiya metallic gray to highlight certain areas of it, like the ridge the ridge right here, above right in there, and at the seam right where the dome comes in contact with the rest of the saucer there. Here's the bottom view of the flying saucer. You can see that the lines are real clean and crisp. I didn't have to do anything but break up the surface smoothness with that fine sandpaper. Nothing more. I highlighted that ring with a little bit of metallic gray out of the bottle. I airbrushed it in there. And I did some more here along the edges, right where this overhang comes in contact with the slope of the saucer. As you can see, there's a hole that I drilled out at the very center of the flying saucer bottom, so that the rod that's in the base will just go right through that and hold it and keep it from sliding off. I did the same thing also for the death ray. It'll fit right into that hole there too. If I can get it right in there. There we go. And it fits in just like that.